have to do. You're down by one. You drive for a layup and get fouled, or get the basket and you win. Or you throw it to the big guy, the 7'1" guy, and he either puts it in and wins or gets fouled.
The Paul W. Smith Show.
I don't know what
News Talk 760 WJR.
Good Monday morning to you. That's right, it's Monday, and we're as excited about Mondays as we are about Fridays around here. It's the 15th of March, the 74th day of 2021. There are 291 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift, and we hope you had a great weekend. It was a great basketball weekend, not so good for Michigan State or for Michigan. Now, it ended up fine for Michigan with the number one seed in the NCAA tournament, but man, they came back brilliantly, and I thought they were going to win the game, and an ill-advised last few seconds, 15 seconds of play, unfortunately, and then relying on a three-pointer instead of throwing it to the big guy and in the center there, and him either making the basket and winning. We were only down by 1 point, or getting fouled and winning with free throws, or even driving the key and trying to make a basket. They were either going to have to foul him or let him make the basket. Either way, we'd win. So unfortunately, we chose number 3 as the opportunity, which was the worst percentage, a 3-point shot, and it didn't go in, and Michigan lost after coming back brilliantly. But then they did get first seed, and in that NAACP
number one seed,
NCAA,
NCAA,
yeah, NCAA in the tournament, and that is a big deal,
very big deal.
And
they have to play less games. It's just wonderful. And
Michigan State did get in as 11th seed. And I don't exactly know what that means, other than I know we'll have the game on Thursday, right?
Right. It's a play-in game, though. I mean,
what does that mean?
Thank God they're in, but just by the skin of their teeth.
All right, yeah. So the key is they're in and they have life, right. And it all starts over again, really, from the beginning.
Fun, right? March Madness.
That's really madness, that's for sure. Lots going on here over the weekend, and lots more coming up. This is a busy week ahead of us. Glad you're with us here at 5:42. My world clock has not changed to the new time. I don't know what that's all about, because it's tied up to the world clock by radio. It just hasn't gotten the message yet. But we changed our clocks, doggone it, and we're on the right time. It's 5:42 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by LifeLock Identity Theft Protection. Tax season can be a big headache if identity thieves steal personal info from your tax forms. LifeLock helps protect, monitor, and restore your identity. No one can monitor all transactions at all businesses, but you can save up to 25% off your first year at LifeLock.com. Promo code RISK.
And we're checking it right now. Our WJR traffic and weather first. Miss Dana Clark.
Traffic first sponsored by Guernsey Farms Dairy. Guernsey Farms Dairy, family owned and operated since 1940, offers award-winning milk and ice cream. They create an experience like no other by crafting the highest quality products and delivering them from cow to carton. Taste the Guernsey difference today at your local grocer or at their newly remodeled Scoop Shop in Northville, 696 westbound between Gratiot and Groesbeck. Construction has that left lane closed until 3 p.m. on Tuesday. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Primetime Testing Laboratory. For over 20 years, they have been offering complete automotive testing services, guaranteeing on-time delivery and accurate result reporting to OEMs, Tier 1 and Tier 2 suppliers. For your next automotive project, get a free quote at primetimetestinglab.com. That's primetimetestinglab.com.
A colder air in, as most of us up near 50 degrees yesterday. Today, about 40 as we watch clouds go on the increase. If you're not cloudy yet, you will be. That east breeze 10 to 20 miles an hour. Rain and snow showers early tonight, continuing overnight with a low of 32. Could be some stickage or accumulations, but very light. And mostly rain showers by tomorrow morning. But still a few extra minutes to get out, just in case. Cloudy for the afternoon with a high 51. from Weather Channel. Meteorologist Ray staging on News Talk 760 WJR.
I haven't heard that expression. Still some stickage. But nothing like Wyoming and Colorado, where their blizzards cause them to have some footage.
Yeah.
They're measuring their snow in feet this morning. We have 24 degrees. It's colder in Pontiac, 20 degrees. Howell, 22. Adrian, 24, according to the 4-zone weather that just popped up on one of my monitors. So it's cold. It's the wind chill is colder than 24, but I think 24 is cold enough to make us know it's cold. And we continue now at 5:45, and Mr. Rush Limbaugh.
Well, a new study is out about another man-made crisis. This time the threat is mass extinction. Yeah, a handful of scientists say that humans have damaged the Earth's ecosystem so horribly that we are headed for the biggest mass extinction since the dinosaurs were wiped out 66 million years ago. These scientists claim 2 species vanish every year, over 200 in the last century. Of the 177 species of mammals, 40% have experienced a serious drop in population. Now, co-author of the study is the disgraced Stanford professor Paul Ehrlich. He says the asteroid that hit Earth, wiping out the dinosaurs, was not making a choice. But the coming mass extinction is the result of human choice, overpopulation, overconsumption by the rich. Ehrlich complains that wildlife habitats have been plowed under and paved, replaced by buildings and strip malls. Of course, Amazon's going to fix that. Of course, this crisis comes with a deadline. The study gives us only 2 or 3 decades to straighten the problem out, or else we're done. Mass extinction will be so far gone, we won't be able to recover. Let me turn back the hands of time. 1968, that's when a young scientist named Paul Ehrlich wrote The Population Bomb. He predicted the population would double and the Earth would not have the resources to sustain it. So we wiped out 20 years ago by starvation, except there's more of us here than ever. Population's doubled. Ehrlich is full of it.
Rush Limbaugh, noon to 3 today, right here on WJR.
4:47, and the gang is all here. Marie Osborne, of course, Dana Clark. We've got Brian Morton in the booth in the Golden Tower, pressing all the right buttons. Mike Kim helping out from the sidelines, and our executive producer running the show by the clock, the grandfather clock, especially for those of you who are actually able to see that by watching us online. We have, of course, our executive producer, Ann Thomas. Good morning, Ann.
Good morning, Dubster. You better put that world clock away because you just said 4:47.
I know. I had to.
Caramba.
I got to turn it around. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't want to make it any earlier.
Can you mess with it, or is it just an automatic thing?
It's an automatic thing. I'll have to mess with it,
really
I guess.
Weird.
Just very weird. In my car, it even made the change, But,
oh, it did?
Yeah, it's very cool. It made the change because it's a world clock in the car, too. We're going to have the appliance doctor on a little later. Our old pal Joe Gannon, who I haven't seen in a long time. And since I saw him, he had a stroke on the air.
Yeah.
And he's going to tell us a little bit about that, and also about his newsletter that we can all get, which is kind of cool. So we'll look forward to that conversation.
He said he got a really big outpouring of support after that happened.
Yeah.
And he recovered really quickly, too.
Yeah, it actually happened while he was on the air, and I got a couple of phone calls from people saying, I think Joe Gannon just had a stroke on the air. And I thought, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do about that. But that it was a call from our old pal Art Volo, who then called Joe's family and said, you guys got to check on Joe. And it turned out he'd been having some other issues like that. So we'll talk to him about that in just a bit. Let's talk about the Grammys last night. Anyone else watch the Grammys? Okay, 2 out of 4.
Until 10:30.
Yeah, I watched it all the way, and it just indicates to me how they are not aiming the Grammys, the award show, or music today to anyone over, well, I don't know what age. I don't know, Dana, what age you would say, but
30.
30?
Oh, wow.
And and forget about it otherwise. And I
Mhm.
never felt more out of it in my life. And I thought it was, Bruno Mars is a very talented guy.
Mhm.
His memorial, in memoriam, as they say, to those who had passed, his Grammys tribute was excellent. I thought he did well, but that's because he was talking about people who died, which means they were older, which means I really was familiar at least.
You're hearing the Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
And the team is here at 5:50 on this Monday morning. Marie Osborne with the news, Dana Clark, of course, checking traffic and weather and whatever else we're talking about. Brian Morton pressing all the right buttons in WJR Control 1. Mike Kim helping alongside, and of course our executive producer, Ann Thomas, overseeing everything. Good morning again, Ann.
Good morning. Happy Monday, Deb.
Happy Monday. I don't know. Everyone feel okay? This is the day that there'll be more heart attacks and more accidents because of the time change.
We're tired.
So far, so good. Yeah.
A little tired, yeah.
Tired.
I'm tired on Monday anyway.
That's a good point.
This is kind of like when people said when 18 years ago, when I was we were expecting Sophie, and people said, "Oh, you're having a baby." Yeah, I was 50, and then you're having a baby. You're going to be really tired. And I said, I'm a morning show host. I can't be any more tired
Right.
than I am. And they said, oh, no, you're going to be tired. And so that one time or two or a few where she would have these screams in the night where her whole body was shaking. I thought she was going to explode because she was crying so hard. I remember walking, trying to get her to stop crying, setting her down in her crib, which was right alongside our bedroom, and just going carefully to get into bed for the first time of the night. And my alarm clock would go off, time to get up to go to work. So, yeah, I was tired. Absolutely tired. But anyway, so now it's Monday. There are people who are picking up on what we've been talking about, even in Lansing, talking about they want to set the time, but they're going with saying, let's have it daylight savings time all the time. That sleep doctor we had on last week said better to go with standard time all the time. That our bodies our circadian rhythms never really line up with the daylight savings, but they do with standard. So I don't know now what to think, which is why I had picked one in my column, and I don't know if they changed it because I changed it to say which one. So today's column, I start with, do you know what time it is? First thing this morning. Okay, yeah, I changed it to which one do we change to and stick with? I'm totally confused now. I tend to go with the doctors, so I go with standard time. What do you guys think?
Same as you. Whatever the doctors think.
Standard time?
Standard time for me.
I just think sticking with one and not going through this change would be better. And, Dick Hafner used to be big on this. He's doing those medical reports for us now. And I checked with him because I thought he wanted daylight savings, but he wanted standard. And so his explanation was we get plenty of sun where we are. We're in a position where generally we would have been on central time anyway, except for business reasons. We were on whatever we're on, standard time. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Back to the Grammys. Bruno Mars did a great job with his memorial in the Grammys tribute. And I was saying when we were off for a moment that because he was doing a tribute to people who had died, I at least knew who those people were and was familiar with their music. This might be the last time I watch the Grammys and stay up so late.
What? How about Beyonce, though? Isn't she amazing?
She's broken every record.
She made a record. Yeah.
Every record. She's broken it. And the woman who is I can't think of her name, the Stallion. Megan the Stallion was obviously thrilled to be on the same stage with her. Since she was a little girl, she watched her, and now she's doing her song and standing next to her on the Grammys. That was pretty real and pretty touching, I thought. I think Megan Thee Stallion gave a very real thank you note. It just seemed very real and very, very touching. And she was choked up and thrilled. I guess I did start to print, but I don't have it right here. All the different the winners and stuff, but I'm sure that they're online. Everybody can check them out. Anybody have anything they brought to the table this morning?
What about you? What were the highlights from the Grammys for you last night?
I thought they were really well done, considering the circumstances. They had everybody lined up, to kind of perform right after each other in the same area. I like the country section, Miranda Lambert and this other young lady and John Mayer. And a black artist, a black country singer was on there. She did a great job. I had not seen her before. I really like country too. And Billie Eilish was a big winner. She sang as well. And I thought Trevor Noah as the host was fabulous.
He did a good job.
I love him.
I thought he did a good job. Yeah. I thought Trevor did
and Taylor Swift was good too.
Oh,
right. She won another award that a lot of people didn't think they'd give to her, but they did. And I think she deserved it from what I could see. But anything, Marie, for you? Doesn't have to be Grammys. Anything over the weekend? Anything going on? We can't hear you. I think you're muted.
Oh.
I still can't hear you.
Still muted.
Okay, here we
There
go.
you go.
There we go. There you are.
Yeah, so we were talking about the time change. So last night we were laughing yesterday that my car, because of the pandemic, my car never got changed last spring. Time. So
Perfect timing.
Yeah, so my car was right on time.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So a whole year later, there I go.
It took you a while, but that's good. Marvin Hagler passing away.
Oh, wow. That's a terrible story.
Very young, 66. That's a sad story. You're right.
What did he die from? Do we know?
Being a boxer, probably.
Yeah.
Getting hit in the head too many times.
Yeah.
That didn't help. Actually, Neil Rubin writes the kind of an obituary, a nice story under the headline from Ringside, the late Marvin Hagler, Detroit's Tommy Hearns, and history, worth finding on the Detroit News. As we continue on this Monday morning at 5:57.
This report is sponsored by LifeLock Identity Theft Protection. Tax season can be a big headache if identity thieves steal personal info from your tax forms. LifeLock helps protect, monitor, and restore your identity. No one can monitor all transactions at all businesses, but you can save up to 25% off your first year at LifeLock.com. Promo code RISK.
Let's find out how we're doing out there. We're checking it, our WJR traffic and weather. First, Miss Dana Clark.
Traffic first sponsored by the Mechanical Contractors Association of Detroit. When your commercial, industrial, public, or residential project calls for plumbers, pipe fitters, or HVAC service technicians, the Mechanical Contractors Association of Detroit connects you with the very best, highly skilled and trained union contractors to get started on your next project. Visit mcadetroit.org. Jeffries, 96 westbound at Beach Daily. Accident reported blocking that left lane. Construction, 696 westbound between Gratiot and Groesbeck. That left lane is closed until 3 p.m. on Tuesday. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Window World. Call Window World at 1-800-NEXT-WINDOW. For your window, door, or siding project, get 0% financing for 60 months. Window World is America's largest exterior replacement remodeler and a trusted team partner of WJR's Inside Outside Guys. Call 1-800-NEXT-WINDOW or visit windowworlddetroit.com. Feels much different this morning. This week is going to be a lot cooler too. Clear skies, 24 degrees. Today, a high of only 39. Partly cloudy this morning, then more clouds this afternoon. Tonight, a cloudy evening, periods of light rain and snow after midnight. Some mixed weather precipitation possible. Shouldn't stick too much. Your low 33. For Tuesday, rain showers early, clouds in the afternoon, and a high of 50. I'm Dana Clark, WJR News with Marie Osborne in about 1 minute.
So, Neil Rubin of the Detroit News writes, I was 3 feet from the ring when Thomas Hitman Hearns fought marvelous Marvin Hagler in 1985, and I will correct anyone who says that it was the best 8 minutes of sports ever. It was the best 8 minutes of anything according to Neil.
Wow.
I'm reading this morning that Hagler died Saturday at 66 at his home in New Hampshire. If you ever saw him fight, or more, if you ever saw him train for a fight, it's almost impossible to comprehend. Wow. So it's quite a story that Neil puts in there. He was obviously quite touched by Marvin Hagler. The Wolverines will start the 2021 NCAA basketball tournament as the #1 seed in the East region. The Wolverines won the Big Ten regular season title, lost to Ohio State. Never should have lost that game. They're very sad.
When's their first game, the Wolverines, Paul?
I don't know. Let's see. They're the 4th #1 seed. I mentioned Michigan State on the bubble to get in just weeks ago, got a #11 seed. We'll take on #11 UCLA on Thursday in the first 4-round play-in game, with the winner playing #6 BYU on Saturday. Gonzaga is the #1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament. First 4 p.m. start on Thursday, March 18th. You have in there that we have a game at 8 or 8:30 on Thursday?
We are carrying several of the NCAA games.
Oh, we are?
Yes.
Not just Michigan State games or Michigan games.
No,
Oh,
several
okay.
of the games. So we're working with Westwood One, and we are carrying, I believe it's a total of 21 games. It's
wow.
really exciting. Yes.
Yeah, that's wild.
So I believe the first one that we're carrying is Thursday night around 8 o'clock. But the Michigan State game doesn't start Thursday night till 9:47.
Oh, goodness.
Wow.
I
Man,
know,
oh, man.
I know.
On a school night, for
On a
goodness.
school
Right.
night.
I hate that.
I mean, 10 o'clock, basically.
Yeah, and they start at 4. They
Right.
start games at 4 on Thursday. But we don't get ours until,
Ours is 9:47.
yikes, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. So we made our corned beef this weekend.
Oh, you did.
Oh, man.
We did. And my recommendation is for corned beef. You know how a lot of people boil it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would not do that. All you have to do is take the Wiggly's brisket, put it in a pan, put it on 300 for around, depending on the size, for 3 to 5 hours. If it's a big piece, go toward the 5 hours. At 300, cover it. You don't have to do anything to it. It comes out and it melts in your mouth.
Yeah, it is so well seasoned. I got mine as well. God bless the people at Wiggly's, in my little emergency Wiggly's kit with the bread, the mustard, the Wiggly's, and all of that.
Kit.
Of course, I looked at that big slab of corned beef and went, what the heck am I going to do with that?
Yeah.
And then I read that you put it in a big pot and you cover it with water and you boil it for like 7 days. But it wasn't really, it wasn't quite like that. No, I called upon my friends, Bob and Marianne Burry, who heard me talking about Wiggly's on the air the other day, and I guess I made it sound like I really like them, because I really do. And they said, we want to take you to Wiggly's in Eastern Market. Let's go and we'll get some sandwiches. And I said, well, I just now got my delivery of Wiggly's, and I got this big Wiggly's corned beef and the bread, the mustard, the cheese. I have everything to make sandwiches, and I'd love to have them with you. I mean, corned beef was this big. I'm here by myself, and Sophie is vegan,
right?
So she's not going to do that. And Adam wasn't coming over this weekend, and I wanted to have it so we could talk about it. And so I called them, and they fixed it. And we had it last night, and it was fabulous. Yeah. It's so good. Why don't we have corned beef year round? And there are things like that. Turkey's very good, but mostly we have it at Thanksgiving or special holidays. Why don't we have those foods more often? Any thoughts?
Question. No.
We do here. We do. Yeah, we do eat corned beef year round and turkey.
You're very Irish, so
exactly.
You have a leprechaun living in your house,
right?
Not everybody knows that. It is so tasty, and
it's excellent.
And I feel a little bad, because I was talking to someone about Wiggly's, and they said, not too loud. And I said, what are you talking about? Mr. Roble, is it? Do you know that name? Roble? Let me see what I don't have my thing over here on the comments. My Paul's pals over here, they love Wiggly's corned beef. Somebody tried deep fried corned beef once. Clay did. Jane does her corned beef in a crock pot.
I've heard that's really good too, Jane.
Crock pot's got to be a great way to do something like that. It just falls apart soft. But there's another brand. I think it's Roble that's also local and also at Eastern Market and also very good.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah. So I don't want to put anyone down. I'm not putting anyone down. It's just that Wiggly's is the one I've now been introduced to because they advertised on WJR and John Belegian did the commercials and it's very, very good. So anyway, I apologize to Mr. Roble. But I mean, it's just the fact of what I experienced and all of that. So Clay wants to know if the leprechaun lives by the clock.
Yes, on top of the clock.
Jane does holiday meals year round at her house too. Cheryl says we boil then bake, basting with a whiskey orange juice, brown sugar mixture. Yee.
Wow.
Cheryl
wants to know how she can read your column. Do you have to subscribe to do that?
Yes, I can't even check it online without this subscription. And I subscribe and pay for this. But you have to do something. I think I finally maybe figured out what to do. But otherwise, you just have to spend how much are these now? How much is a newspaper? I don't see the price on here.
A monthly subscription.
$2.50 for a daily newspaper now.
A monthly subscription online is $9.99.
To just get it online, or do you get the?
No, to just get it online.
I see. Well, I'm on the back page, the opinion section, and it starts off. Do you know what time it is? Out of my mind on a Monday morning. I'm counting gold mine.
The Paul W. Smith Show, News Talk 760 WJR.
Does anybody really know what time it is? I do the Chicago lyrics from that song at the beginning, because there are people waking up today that are going, "Wait a minute. What time is it?"
What the?
Well, I'm here to tell you it's 6:07 and it's Monday. Yay! It's Monday, March 15th, the 74th day of 2021. There are 291 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. And we have the team waking up. Marie Osborne just continued the news, finished it, and came back to talk to us. So all must be well. Dana Clark here, traffic, weather, and whatever else is going on. We're talking about it. We've got Brian Morton in WJR Control 1, running pushing all the right buttons. Mike Kim helping out with information tied into the stories that Ann has booked for us. And, of course, our executive producer. Good morning, Annie.
Good morning, Deb. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Not so happy, but again, happy. Not so happy for the Wolverines, who had a tremendous comeback and then lost their game by taking the third choice out of three choices for what you could do. And I don't exactly know why it happened like this, nerves or inexperience. I don't know, but when the kid's coming down the court and has 14 seconds, whatever time, get it to the big guy in the middle to score or be fouled and score. Drive it in yourself. They're going to be careful not to foul you, but when you're going to win, if you get a layup because you're only down by one, they're probably going to foul you. So either make that basket and get the extra shot, or you get the extra two shots and you win, or you take the three-pointer, which is the worst percentage shot, and if you miss it, the game is over because you ran the clock down coming down the court. And unfortunately, that's what they did. That's the bad news. The good news is, didn't matter. They're one of the number one seeds in the NCAA tournament. So it worked out well for the Wolverines, and for Michigan State, that was on the verge, on the bubble to even get in, did get in, and they're 11th seed. And Ann has explained to us before we took our break that we're going to run a whole bunch of these games starting Thursday.
Yeah,
Thursday
it's
night.
exciting. Yep, Thursday night. It's great news. And Illinois ended up winning the Big Ten championship yesterday.
And Illinois, I did not watch their game against Ohio State. They beat Ohio State then to get the Big Ten championship. I did not win money on Michigan on my FanDuel. I didn't win money on Michigan, but I won money on Illinois.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I might look to them for the whole tournament, the whole March Madness, the end final big tournament, especially since we've got an injury at Michigan that's pretty significant that may be a problem.
So Illinois won that game in overtime. I didn't realize that.
I didn't stay with the game. I had to go do some stuff, but
Ohio State's another team to watch then.
Ohio State, Illinois, of course, Gonzaga always, and a couple of others. It's a pretty good lineup, really. I mean, anybody could win, as they say. Do you see any of you see the video over the weekend? The people are in a tourist boat. I don't know who's on tours right now, but they're in a tourist boat. And where was this? They're sitting in the boat, and all of a sudden, a penguin, this was in Antarctica, a penguin dove out of the water and into their boat, hotly pursued by a couple of whales that wanted him for breakfast. And so he jumped into the boat, made no apologies. He was dressed formally. He could go anywhere. And then after the whales left, he jumped out of the boat with nary a thank you to the people who saved his life. But that's a story to be able to tell, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we're in this boat.
Great video.
When penguin jumped in. Oh, boy.
And there was a great shot a couple of weeks ago from the Detroit Zoo on their Instagram account. If you don't follow the Detroit Zoo on Instagram, you should. They post some great stuff. And it was their new baby polar bear laying flat on his back in the snow, just like,
making bear angels in the snow.
Just the cutest.
It was so cute.
I recommend that.
Yeah, that is worth watching, Marie. That you just go online. That's on all the time.
On Instagram. No, they post pictures of their creatures, doing different things. And that one in particular was just adorable.
That little baby.
They're all cute.
They said it was just big enough to let it out. So it's not even out all the time. It just comes out a little bit. And it loved the snow.
Yeah.
Which is what you'd expect of a polar bear. Sorry to hear over the weekend of a woman that retired shortly after, a few years after I started back here at WJR with the morning show, which was 1996. And she retired within about 5 or 6 years. Susan Stark, the longtime Detroit film critic, used to be on with JP, I think every Friday.
Mm-hmm. Very talented.
Much like Dana, the way we do our little movie thing. Susan Stark would do that with JP, and she died at the age of 80. Mm-hmm. Apparently it moved to New York, which maybe is where she was originally from.
She was an excellent, excellent film critic. Anybody who remembered her work, she was just phenomenal.
Yeah, I do remember her work. Sad that she's gone. Well, it's already 6:13. It says on this monitor 24 degrees, so we're going to believe that or be somewhere close to that as we take care of a little business on WJR.
This report is sponsored by LifeLock Identity Theft Protection. Tax season can be a big headache if identity thieves steal personal info from your tax forms. LifeLock helps protect, monitor, and restore your identity. No one can monitor all transactions at all businesses, but you can save up to 25% off your first year at LifeLock.com. Promo code RISK.
Well, sunrise will be at 7:45 this morning. Sunrise at 7:45 and sunset at 7:40 this evening with the new time that we're in, daylight savings time. Just a heads up to you on that as we check our WJR traffic and weather first, and Miss Dana Clark.
Traffic First, sponsored by the Carpenters Labor Management Partnership Team. Make a career change today. Join the skilled trades. The Carpenters LMPT contractors are looking for professional, hardworking individuals that want to build a career with great pay, full retirement, and family health care. Text JOB to 855-424-2562. That's JOB to 855-424-2562. New accident along the Lodge southbound after 94. That wreck is blocking the right lane. Jeffries 96 westbound at Beach Daily. Accident blocking the left lane, also blocking that right shoulder. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by the Cremation Society of Michigan. For over 33 years, the Cremation Society of Michigan has been providing dignified cremation services without the cost of traditional funerals. For cremation information, contact the Cremation Society of Michigan at 1-800-241-3131 or visit cremationmichigan.com.
Clouds go on the increase, and the colder weather is starting to spill in on an east breeze here this morning. Only 40 this afternoon, becoming cloudy, and we get some rain and snow showers tonight, down to about 32 degrees and rising temperatures. So by tomorrow morning, mainly rain showers, but cloudy in the afternoon with a high 51. Still going to be slick a little bit early tomorrow morning. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicom, News Talk 760 WJR.